welcome everybody. I'm back with my doggos. Sophie's here and Sprocket's over the back. They're both very tired today. I had to take Penny home today. For anyone new, I've been babysitting another little doggy for like a week. So it's the 21st of April, so I thought I'd just get on and do a little reading. So I'm a little bit late today, and we'll just let my guides channel through to you, and we'll just see what comes up for the 21st of April. I've missed my little doggos as well. They miss all the attention. They're a bit spoilt, my puppies. They're both rescue dogs and they're brother and sister, so they're pretty funny. All right, so I'll just close my eyes and we'll just get started and see what comes up. Ooh, people are removing their glasses. Now, it's almost showing me people removing their rose-coloured glasses and they are folding them up and putting them into their glasses case. Now, ooh, it's saying to me that they're putting them away for now. Oh. And it's like I've said before, people are getting fooled because they're being given the false normal. So most people think that, I've always got to hold their hands. My dogs are ridiculous. People think their life has got back to normal, but as we all know, this is the false normal. So they're leading us with their trickery, and they're trying to implement all these other things meanwhile over here, and people aren't seeing that because even though they've taken the glasses off, life, if you think about it, is looking pretty normal to most people at the moment because all of a sudden mandates are dropped, QR codes are dropped rather. A lot of these things are happening globally. A lot of things are being dropped because, oh my goodness, we know that was always the plan, is to really work out who's complying and who's not complying. Now, they already pretty much know all our information now anyway. They don't really need another virus. As we know, that keeps the narrative going. So that's what I'm definitely getting, that people have taken off their rose-coloured glasses and they've put them in their cases. And I think the message that the guides are trying to give us is that they're going to see things now, and they're going to see things really clearly. So it could be that their mass psychosis is kind of diminishing. So that's kind of disappearing now because they don't need the mass psychosis anymore. So I feel like that's something that they don't have to work on at the moment. So people's rose-coloured glasses are off. So now they have that opportunity to actually see things, and they're going to see things much clearer. So probably be ready for that, because it's definitely the rose-coloured glasses have been taken off. But they're showing me that they're not actually seeing things yet, because the people who are complying and the people who are following that narrative are still seeing their life as normal. Now, we all know, and if you're watching this video, I know that you know none of this is normal. The things that we're seeing currently rolling out of Shanghai and Canada, definitely. I always talk about you over there in Canada. You guys have had your worlds rocked. And look, here in Australia, I have to say that we've got a lot going on too. And all I keep hearing from all the premiers in every state in Australia is that we're going to build back better. And we all know where that's headed. We're heading down the road of communism, because free speech is stopped here in Australia. It's stopped in Canada. We don't have voices anymore. Now, that's not a democracy if you're being told you don't have a voice. So we sort of know these things, but you've got to remember that the people who have taken their rose-coloured glasses off are thinking their life is normal, because that's all they can see. Now, I talked about this the other day. A lot of people are still living in their 3D, so they're living in that third dimension. So they're only seeing what's in front of them. But if you're watching this video and you watch my channel regularly, you know that you can see things from different perspectives. So it's like I said, on that mountain, you're looking down and you're seeing the real picture. You can see the enormity of, for example, on a mountain, you can see what's happening over there and what's coming towards you. If you're on the other side of that mountain down in the valley, you're not seeing what's coming towards you at all. So that's kind of the example, is we know what's kind of coming and what's being rolled out, but these people that are still living in 3D aren't seeing it. They think, great, our life is back to normal. The masks are gone, the mandates are gone, and we're just getting on with it. But we know that's not the truth. So now their glasses are off and they're sort of getting out of that mass psychosis. They have that opportunity to start to see things, because what will happen is their life will start to become a lot more structured, and they're going to realize that, hang on a minute, why do we have to do that in order to do that? So this is where the triggers are going to come up, and those conspiracy theories and the things that they've sort of heard about on the grapevine, or someone sort of mentioned something once, they're going to have their light bulb moments. So I'm definitely getting that today, that a lot of people are starting to have some light bulb moments, and that's a great thing. We want them to start to see things. I'll see what else we get today. Yep, I'm getting the plans are going ahead. They're showing me, like, when you think of plans, I'm talking about the ones on paper. So, for example, a plan of, it could be a smart city, it could be a house. Like, you think of that blueprint. They've rolled it out now. So it's like they've had it all rolled up, and then they've pushed it open. So now the plan is open. So that's what the guys are kind of saying. The plan is open, and they're ready to roll it out and ready to implement the agenda. Now, what the guides are saying to me is this is going to be hard for them to hide, because the next stages of the journey for the reset is going to become obvious. And this is what I'm saying about people are going to start to have their light bulb moments. Now, I'll just see sort of what's going to be obvious. I'll just see if they give me anything. Right, so the guides said they're going to be shining a light down on the truths now. So there's going to be a lot of, it's like they said they're going to be feeding people truth serum. So they're going to make people tell the truth. So it's almost like, sort of like whistleblowers, but there's going to be these people who, like the guide said, it's like they've drunk truth serum, and they're going to have to tell the truth. Because sometimes when you're carrying around lies and deception, it doesn't sit well with you. Now, a lot of these people might be people that have worked for Big Pharma. They could be a lot of people who work for big government corporations, or they could be people that are working in the financial kind of sectors, or the big business, corporate kind of industries, that they're going to be given their truth serum, and they're going to have to come clean. Because what happens is when something is on your conscience and you know it's destroying lives, or it's destructive to people's livelihoods going forward, it starts to eat you alive inside. And it's very hard to stay on that path of deception. So I'm definitely getting from the guides that they're going to be giving a lot of people truth serum. So I do still feel like a lot of truths are going to be spilling out. And these are the light bulb moments that a lot of people are going to start to see now, and they're going to start to wake up to the truths and what's been going on, and how they've been lied to on such a ginormic scale. It's going to be very shocking and mortifying for people to think that they had been coerced, and the worst part about it is that they will feel like a fool. So they're going to feel really foolish that they fell for kind of the trap. Look, this isn't everybody, but there's going to be a large proportion of the population that's going to wake up, and they're going to start to take a different road now. So they've been going that way, but it's showing me that now they're going to veer off and go that way because they don't like where that road's headed. And I think we all know where that road was heading to, little communist China. And they want to get off it. People are starting to see. And that's what I was saying about the fact that they're showing a lot about Shanghai and how that's actually getting worse and worse. And they're isolating people who have had C. I won't actually say it because of YouTube checking everything. But the people who have had the virus, the C virus, are the ones that are being targeted. Now, I don't know about you guys, but here in Australia and New South Wales particularly, every second person I know has had it, and particularly ones that have been jabbed and even boosted are getting it as well. Look at my dogs. They're so funny, aren't they? They're wrecked. Getting boosted as well. They're the ones being targeted in Shanghai. And we know that because that's what they're doing. They're even pulling people, it said the other day, out of aged care homes, very old, vulnerable people, and they're throwing them into these facilities for the COVID patients. And some were even in wheelchairs, they said, wheeling them into these places. It's just complete insanity. And people are seeing that. And that's why people are having their light bulb moments. I still am getting these truths. Like the guide said, they'll be feeding them the truth serum because their conscience is going to get the better of them, and they're going to want to be heard and start to tell the truth because it just isn't sitting right with them. And also a lot of people, you've got to picture a lot of people who have worked for these big corporate companies or big pharma and that, they feel like they could end up with some liability, even though we know that everything, God, they're exempt from everything by governments. But these people still feel like it's a personal conscience thing that they can't handle holding that in anymore. They need to be honest about what's actually going on. So I do feel in that definitely next couple of months, as people have their light bulb moments, they're going to realize some of the things that they've been fooled by. And that's not a nice feeling because you feel really foolish and you feel really stupid. And it'll cause people to just, they're going to feel, honestly, they're going to feel terrible because you've got to remember in that mass psychosis, people have really believed that narrative that in the beginning, for example, it was all the young jabs' fault. Let's blame them. And then it's the people with the double jabs, they need boostering. And then it's the children. It became the pandemic of the unvaccinated. And then it became the pandemic of the children because they were giving it to all the elderly family members and things. It went on and on and on. And people are going to look back at that journey that they've had for the last couple of years and they're going to feel really silly and really foolish. And I do get a lot of that. But that's all sort of part of that waking up process, isn't it? You've got to go through, it's almost like the emotional stages where you're feeling all empowered and then you get your power taken away from you and you sort of have to crash and hit rock bottom. Well, this is what they're going through. Not you watching this video, and I know that we've all moved on through that. We've gone through our awakening process. But these people have now got to sort of hit rock bottom in order to rebuild themselves. And then they will regain their traction and their strength and their power and they will move forward. But they're going to move forward on a different path. They're going to veer off. And because anyone who stays on that path, I think they know where that's all headed. And I don't think Shanghai is really where most people want to be going because that's put a lot of fear in people too. That's really frightened and disturbed people a lot over there. Gosh, they even said someone had jumped out of a building and, this is really getting tragic now. So you've got to remember that other people are seeing that too. It's not just us being fed that information. I said the other day, I saw that on mainstream news channel. So that's huge. When we know things are sort of coming out like that, that means it's going to have effect on other people. And at the moment, the rose-colored glasses are off. So they're going to start to see these things. So let's hold that in our thoughts today, that they've taken their glasses off and put them into a glass case and that they think their life is normal, but now it's allowing them to see the truths. We'll see what else we get today. Gosh, I'm getting that Trudeau is backpedaling a lot. It shows me him sort of almost retreating, but he's kind of backpedaling. It's like he's trying to soften the blow. So he's trying to soften the blow because he knows where he stands. He knows he's not well liked. And he's almost feeling like he's committed like a criminal offence, which to all of us he has. But he doesn't want to be perceived as he doesn't like being perceived as a monster and a tyrant. He doesn't like that image. As he wants see, you've got to remember with Trudeau that he wants to be respected and he wants to be honoured and he wants to be looked up to by the rest of the world, as though his decision-making policies and that have a lot of strength to them and a lot of logic to them, but he's realizing that that's not how he's being perceived. Gosh, I only need to look on YouTube at all the memes of him, and it's just such a laugh and a half, isn't it? Some of the stuff people come up with about Trudeau in Canada there. So this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing him kind of sliding his feet back. He's kind of backpedaling because he's trying to soften his image. He doesn't want to be perceived as the monster and the tyrant. He's trying to do a little bit of, you could almost call it, he's trying to fix his relationship with the people. But as we know, he's not the best at respecting the people. So if you're not respectful of people, you're not going to be respected. And I think that's where Trudeau has lost his way. He was too heavy-footed. He slammed those brakes on too hard on his people, and it's very hard to sort of ease your foot off the brake when it's too late. So I'm getting that for Trudeau, that he's trying to backpedal and soften up with the people, but that's going to be really hard going for him, because he's sort of, to me, he's done his dash now in Canada and surrounding areas. I know I've got a lot of you out there that watch from Canada. Ontario, is it, and Ottawa, and you guys have banded together and you are strong. I don't want you to feel like your world has collapsed, because it hasn't. It's saying that it hasn't collapsed. You're not watching this video, you're not a minority group anymore. You have to know that people over there have had enough. And in Canada, people have a very strong will to fight back, and people are really seeing that the rich are getting richer, and that's what's starting to rub people up the wrong way, and that's what's starting to disturb people in Canada. So I'm definitely getting that for you. And again, you've got to remember that people have now got the rose-colored glasses off, so they're starting to see things with a lot more clarity, and they know the rich are getting richer, and meanwhile everybody else, as I said, middle income and low income have all been squished together. They are suffering. They are suffering the cost of living, petrol prices, food, you name it. Every avenue of people's lives is just getting ripped away. And of course, no wages go up. So there's no balance in any of this, is there? So don't worry about that in Canada, because you've got a lot of people starting to wake up and starting to see things very clearly now. So I want you to hold that in your mind. Oh, Trudeau, what can we say? He's entertaining, isn't he? Never boring. But yes, Trudeau doing a lot of doing a lot of backpedaling now. I'll just see what else we get today. I'm getting that you guys have to really stay strong. Now, no having a conniption. And this is what they mean, what the guides are saying is, don't have a conniption about anything. If you're starting to get overwhelmed, you're starting to get frustrated, you're starting to get angry, and you're just finding yourself going to these places, which I often do myself, don't worry, you're not alone. I get very frustrated. I talked about this the other day, how things can trigger us just into that sort of frustrated state. You've got to stop that now. You've got to really find ways to really settle your energy and stay really focused and clear in that present moment. The guides are always telling you about that, just staying in that present moment and being in your space where you are, because that's your safe place. That's the place that keeps you having clarity of mind, keeps you feeling good, keeps you embracing life. And that's what I get for you guys out there, is that we are embracing our life again. We're starting to live our life. We've jumped all the hurdles that we had to jump, and we're sort of, there's really no finish line, but we've sort of passed the finish line, and we're kind of just getting on with the show now. And now all these other people are having to start to jump over their hurdles. to get where they need to be. So I just want you to know that you've already gone through your real challenges in this process. As much as we kind of think, like even myself, I think, oh, is it going to be another protest? Do we need to stand up again? How are we going to do this if there's no, if the laws have been brought in and the bills, as you have in Canada, about protesting? Like, where do we go from here? People aren't aware the reset's coming. You know, what do we do? And I'm just like you guys out there. I get a lot of question marks too. And it is a little bit of a confusing time because you have these, it's almost like the moments of doubt. As much as we know it's happening, you still have these little moments of doubt. And it's strange because my daughter actually said to me last night, because we're always talking about it, my husband and I are terrible. We're a bit over the top. And I know you guys get it. And because there's not a lot of people you can talk to about this, I know we've all got each other here on my channel. But when my husband comes home, you know, I talk to him because I lost most of my friends. So unless people think the same as you, it's very hard to talk to anybody about this information. So she actually said to me, well, Mum, I'm just curious. She said, how do you know that you're right and that they're wrong? And she said, how do they know that you're not right and they're wrong? And I was like, oh, well, I don't really. And Tim and I were sort of saying like, well, there's nothing really concrete. And I think that's where we have this, it was a good point by her because I thought, gosh, we could be getting all caught up with this conspiracy theories. But we're just waiting and trying to get some of that concrete proof that this is really going ahead. You know, here, like I said, we've got people quoting, oh, Build Back Better. But we're sort of waiting for something to actually happen. It's like it's just words coming out of their mouth. And so that's where it gets a little bit sort of challenging, isn't it? Because then you get that bit of doubt, like, am I crazy? Is this really happening? Like, am I just wanting it and willing it to happen so much so that I'm on the right path? Or, you know, but we can't go to the other path because that's not what we chose. But you know, are they right? Is there a virus that's, you know, I think most of us think it's like the flu, but is there a really bad virus? And just because we think a different way, that's not our reality. You know, these are the questions and more that I even ask. And my daughter was asking, she's pretty intuitive. She's 13. And she was kind of curious as to, is it possible that there's two completely like different realities? And I thought she had a pretty good point there because she's pretty neutral. I mean, she's not into the jab or anything like that. But, you know, she's also hears all the things that we talk about. And, you know, it'd be nice if you guys let me know down below some of the experiences you're having. And do you have any doubts or do you have moments where you feel a bit crazy? Because I'd love to hear from you guys down below about your experiences. Because sometimes we just don't know. Are there two different realities? And we sort of cross over into each other's, which I do believe that sometimes is the case. But for some people, I mean, seriously, today I saw people still wearing masks downtown, and I just can't relate to that at all. So I'd love to just hear what you guys are going through, because it just seems crazy that anyone would be wearing a mask. Now we can be free. It's like, yay, let's throw them away. So even I get my, you know, I have a lot of question marks, and I even talk to the guys a lot about these things too. So there is a lot of unknowns, and I guess to you watching this channel, and for me, it's like, well, it's like we really want something concrete to come out. We need some proof. I guess I would say is probably what we're kind of looking for, is some proof moving forward is what I would love personally to get. Let me know what you guys are thinking at the moment, because I love hearing from you guys and chatting. I'll see what else the guides say. Enough about my thoughts. Now, I'm getting Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, Netherlands, Finland. They're kind of saying to me, now this is very strange, and I'm not exactly sure what they mean by this, but they're saying, like, these are like, they're not, it's just not fitting, but they're saying that they're like poorer countries at the moment. So I'm not sure if they're relating it to information. We know Denmark's been pretty pivotal in the digital rollouts, but the others, they're saying to me, these are sort of poorer in their equality. And this is the equality, that's what they're saying. This is the equality of the people. I feel like you have a very strong hierarchy in your the society. It's almost like the poorer you are, the less acknowledgement you get. So this is kind of what I'm getting for these countries, is that it's almost like the elites are riding their wave of success, and the lower classes in these societies have been dismissed and pushed aside. Now, I'm definitely getting that. It's not so much that your countries are poorer, but what they're saying to me is that the split and the division of the elites to the middle and lower class is huge, and it is making people feel poorer in these countries. There is a lot of wealth growing hello Sophie, oh god, puppy kiss. There's a lot of wealth and it's being more and more it's becoming more and more clear to people in these countries of what is going on. There's definitely, oh my girl, she gets itchy, she's got grass allergy. There's definitely in these countries there's a huge divide, and that's what they're saying about the poor, like the countries. It's making people feel very poor because their economy is really, like, you think about the fuel, the costs of living, it's making people feel poor. So that's what I'm getting for these countries. You're feeling, and this is why they've pushed that middle class of society down into the lower class, because they want people to feel poor. Now, if you think about the elites and the way they're trying to implement the reset in any of these countries or globally, this is what they want. They want people to be on an equal footing. They don't want to have the layers anymore in society. That's not what they want. They want to have them and us. So this is how they go about doing it, because eventually they want that financial, and social structure where we're going to be under that credit system, and they can dish out what they want to the people. So I'm feeling that if you're living in any of those countries, Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Netherlands, maybe Finland, Iceland, hey, out there. These places are starting to get that extreme now, which is virtually saying that the social middle class in society is now starting to drop, because they're struggling now to make ends meet too. You think of interest rate rises, all these things, and look, this is pretty much globally as well. That's what's happening, and that's happening strongly in these countries now. It's becoming very, very obvious that difference in society. There's a huge gap now, and I want you to sort of keep that in your mind. And that's making people very, very frustrated in these countries. It's become really obvious, actually. And don't be surprised, actually, if people make a stand to that. I'm not sure what your protesting bills and your situations are in these countries, but I do feel that a lot of people are getting scared now because of what's actually happening, and people might be going to rise up to these kind of challenges, because I feel like they want to make a stand. They don't want to stand by and let their lives be completely taken from them and destroyed. So I feel like that's what's oh, Sophie, she's so restless today. I feel like that's what's happening in some of these countries. I'll just see if there's any last messages today. Hang on, Soph, come here. Okay, I'm getting that we're all tired. My two dogs are tired. We're all tired. Now, I've had a very tight head today and a bit of a headache actually today, and if you think about it, it's that overwhelming feeling of just, it's kind of like going nowhere if I think about it. It's kind of like we're just sitting idle. And I think that's what I'm saying about, we just want some concrete evidence, and we want some things to come out. And the guides are saying to just be patient. They know that we're tired and we're exhausted from this kind of journey. But we have to keep like re-energizing ourselves as well. I'll just see what else they say today. I think what they're the guides are getting to is that people are running on empty. So it's like we're all running on empty. You think about the last 2.5 years, everyone's been really running and running and running, but no one's really been taking care of themselves. So that's the real message today, is to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're being kind to yourself, that you're using sort of good language towards yourself, that you're not being negative and putting yourself down, that you're still empowering yourself and knowing that your beliefs are strong. I'll just see what else the guides say at the minute. Hang on. They're saying that you people watching this video are stars. Now, if you think of the night sky, it might pay to go out and just look at that beautiful night sky and look at all those stars, and there are millions upon millions and billions and zillions of stars out there, and it's saying that we are those stars. We're bright, we're lighting things up, and what's happening is each star, Sophie, come here, each star is getting brighter and brighter. Sorry, I have to let her out in a minute. Each star is getting brighter and brighter, and there's more and more of them. And this is that awakening. There's more. Every night you go out, there's going to be more and more stars, unless it's cloudy and then you don't see any. But this is on a very clear night. Just keep looking, because this is the waking up process. When you think of stars twinkling, it's such a magical kind of experience, isn't it? Just if you're sitting around, your bonfire outside and you're looking up at the stars, there's nothing better than seeing, and a shooting star. What a magical experience that is when you see one of those and make a big wish. So what they're saying is, you've got to know that the glasses are coming off and people are waking up, and they're filling that sky with stars now, because people are waking up. This journey is the awakening process, and that's why it's called the Great Awakening. People are waking up. Now, for anyone watching my video, I know this has been hard, and I know it's been exhausting and a really trying time, but we're already there. We're the stars. There's a great song by Coldplay, and it's called The Sky Full of Stars. I think it's called The Sky Full of Stars. Oh, it's such a beautiful song. And the guys want you to go and watch that today, because they want you to get really inspired and know that you are a star. And anyone who's gone through the journey that we have and they've come out the other side, and look, I know for some of you watching this video, you've had to change paths along the way. Some people I know have had injuries and things out there as well. You are a star, and you're a star for getting back in your own power. So I want you to go and watch that song by Coldplay, and I want you to hold those thoughts in your heart, and I want you to get out and look at the stars and just think that by looking at those stars, you're not alone. You're looking at every single one of us is standing up. So just hold that thought and that vision in your mind today, and go and check out the stars. Check out that song. I think it could be quite inspiring to you, but the guys are saying that we're the stars. Each individual star represents a person, and we're already up there. We're probably those really bright ones that they're saying to me. We're the big bright star. I think it's the Star of David is the first one. And the guys are saying, oh no, that's them. Oh, aren't they cheeky? I'll just see if there's anything else today. And the guys are saying that you've got this. This is a done deal. We can just sit back now, because our fight is over. This fight is going to become obvious for other people to manage now. We've had all our fights, and we don't have to do that anymore. We just have to sit back, like I've said in the last few weeks, and just allow things to flow and just let the information come out, because the guides are adamant that it is. So look, thanks for watching today. My dogs are a bit sleepy today. There wasn't much action from them today. Hopefully we'll get some more in the next week. I'm heading away for 3 days down the coast here. So I'll try and shoot a video down there, which would be nice. A little bit of fresh beach air. I'm taking my daughter to the zoo. She loves tigers. You can probably see that big tiger at the back there. She's like tiger obsessed. And look, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't to my channel. Hit those like buttons. And look, make those comments. I love hearing from you guys. You know that I do. And go and watch Coldplay's You're a Star. I think it's, yeah, You're a Star. Take care, everybody. And bye from Australia. I'll see you very soon. Take care.